Saa 6:14 and I told you that in the second hour tutakuwa naye mgeni hapa katika studio. Na atakuwa anatueducate more about oral hygiene. Sijui wewe ukisikia oral hygiene unafikiria ni nini? But thank God we have an expert here, Dr. Mercy. Atakuwa anatuambia when we talk about oral hygiene inamaanisha nini. Na pia atuelezee yeye nani na ametoka wapi. Welcome Dr. Mercy.
Asante sana Ajie. I'm happy to be here. Kama hivyo umewaambia naitwa Mercy.
Naam.
Mimi ni daktari wa meno hapa mji wa Meru.
Dr. Mercy, wewe ni mtaalamu wa oral hygiene. Umespecialize na masuala ya meno ama kuna other things that you are specialized with?
My specialization ni area ya meno tu.
Area ya meno,
mdomo. Hiyo anaitwa dentist.
Wow. Sa kuna mtu ambaye akisikia oral hygiene leo anashangaa oral hygiene hii ni nini? Inamaanisha nini? Inahusiana aje na mimi? Maybe unaweza tuelezea kuhusiana na oral hygiene. What does it mean generally?
Okay. Oral hygiene generally means having a clean mouth. A clean mouth that is free from diseases. Diseases nasemea kama magonjwa.
Naam.
It is free from bad breath. No? Yeah. Generally, when you're talking about oral hygiene, you're speaking of a whole person. Hata akismile, unapenda amekamilika. Akiongea karibu na wewe hata kwa masikio, you are not repulsing kwa sababu ya kuseme there is a bad breath that is coming from the mouth. So when you are talking about oral hygiene, we are talking of a person who is able to brush her teeth well. We are talking of a person who is able to floss her teeth. Flossing, I know that is a very new style in town.
Yeah.
Because most of us are used to using a toothpick.
Once
you have finished taking your githeri, you pick your mouth with the toothpick.
No.
Today I'm here to say it is not right. The best way is once you brush your teeth with a fluoride toothpaste, I mean the toothpaste that are potentiated with some minerals that they help strengthen your teeth. That is what we call fluoride toothpaste. Yeah, once you brush and you have rinsed your mouth, you can go ahead and floss. Let's say you have a lunch hour in town and you not carry your brush, you can rinse your mouth and still use a floss instead of a toothpick. Once you clean the food that is trapped in between the teeth with your floss, it means now you're clean.
I'm clean.
You're clean. There are people that don't go ahead and use a mouthwash, maybe antibacterial mouthwash. Okay, I do not encourage so much of the mouthwash, but if you feel more fresh and by taking rinsing a mouthwash after brushing, it is also a recommendation. But for me, I recommend clean water. If there is any concern, maybe you feel like you have somewhere you have bitten yourself where you're eating, maybe you have eaten miwa and you're chipped off one of your cheeks from inside, you can use warm salty water.
Salty water.
Yeah, it's still okay.
It's still okay.
Yeah.
By the way, kuna ile watu wanasemanga toothpaste yangu imeisha nyumbani. So kwa sababu toothpaste yangu imeisha nyumbani, naweza tumia chumvi kubrush meno. Inakuanga nzuri.
Okay. Let me say toothpaste mostly is like a soap. What we do with the soap for us to clean even our houses, usafi si hiyo sabuni. Hata mwenye ana sabuni ukilini nyumba yako inasafika. But there is a way inakufacilitate, unafeel hata iko enjoyable na unaona ni kama umeng'arisha vizuri. Because umetumia kitu ya kuraiten ile maji. But in a case where you do not have that toothpaste, now that we have said it is a soap. It is not the soap that cleans the clothes and makes them more cleaner. It is how you do it.
How I do it.
Yeah. There are people that are using traditional chewing sticks and they are brushing their teeth perfectly. You can brush with a traditional chewing stick, you can brush with a toothbrush, the conventional ones, but all the same, how you do it is what matters. You brush your teeth well, whether you use a toothpaste or you're rinsing warm salty water, that is okay.
Wow, kumbe ni nzuri. Now, how regularly am I supposed to brush my teeth during the day?
Okay. we recommend at least twice a day. That is in the morning after breakfast. Underline after.
After breakfast.
After breakfast.
Si ile nikiamuka.
Ukiamuka kwa kitanda ati uko na toothbrush kwa mdomo, that is not right. Most of our breakfast, the ones we take, they are composed of very soluble carbohydrates. Let's say you're doing bread. Bread is very soft and sticky. It will stick in your mouth. Let's say you're doing hata kaimati ama cake. They will stick in your teeth. Your tea itself, if you sweetened it with some little sugar and you're eating maybe with ugari, it will still stick because the ugari has now been sweetened by the sugar that is in your tea. So that's why we recommend don't do it before you take your breakfast, because your breakfast is the most important meal, and it's also an important meal, and it has a high percentage of sugars. So when you brush your teeth after breakfast, you have secured your mouth for some time, since you're checking in at work, and maybe you may not have time to pick on something else, either a snack or a meal before lunch hour. See, you'll have so many hours with the sugars that you brushed before breakfast, and then you took breakfast and you did not brush, the sugars will have destroyed your teeth so much. So we recommend to our people, when you're brushing your teeth, do it after breakfast.
I do it after breakfast.
Yeah.
Alafu supper.
And then after supper. Everything has to be done after meals. Why? You will do supper. Yes, maybe you did a very balanced supper. But at night you may feel thirsty and you want some juice in your water. If you want some juice in your water, now you have destroyed the brushing that you did. So we recommend you brush after supper. And after brushing, no more feeding, especially drinking sugary things, because they will stick in your teeth. You sleep with them, you will have some media to feed your bacteria, and at the end of the day, the bacteria will corrode your teeth. Yeah.
So mi nikikula usiku nisiamke kukula, na nikiamka kukunywa maybe hizo soda, juice, I brush again.
You brush again.
Hey, jamani. Okay. And how does our diet, kile tunakula, affect our now oral hygiene, all of it?
Yeah. It's very important. Just as like the whole body, you need to take a balanced diet to maintain strong organs and a strong body and a healthy and a wholesome person. So is the teeth or your mouth. You also require balanced diet, especially full of fruits and veggies. We need vitamins as much as possible to maintain healthy gums and very strong teeth. And so we recommend that we try as much as possible. Every meal that you're taking, let it be balanced. Reduce on sugars. The sugars that mostly that we are taking here around, even the sweets, even the biggies, they are carrying very dangerous sugars. Sugars that are, we call them fermentable carbohydrates. Very soluble carbohydrates. Why? Once they stick in your mouth, the bacteria love that part. That sugary, because they are very soluble. Inaifind very fast, inaweza kudigest and we break down very fast. Once they break down, the byproduct is an acid. An acid that once it falls on your tooth, it will corrode your teeth. That area that has corroded is an area that has lost minerals. Now it will continue to decay. Let's say that you have done a sweet at this hour by midday, and now you're taking a balanced diet at lunch hour. Bravo to you. Why? The corrosion that has happened a few minutes ago will recover from the minerals you're picking from your food. That is why it is very necessary to eat a balanced diet, because most of in the teeth there is a constant losing of minerals and picking of minerals depending on what you have eaten. So whenever you lose the minerals and now you are not taking any balanced diet, you're continuing with the ice cream, you have continued with the sodas, you have continued snacking on cakes. Even when you're supposed to be taking lunch, you do a very, very faster, very sweet cake so that you can pick the minerals, you can pick the sugars. Yes, the sugars will help you get the energy, but they will corrode your teeth. Why? The sugars, when the bacteria transform them, they give a byproduct of an acid. an acid that will corrode your teeth, and the teeth will continue to chip off. So the best thing is do a balanced diet as much as you can.
As much as I can.
Yeah.
So makomrade wale wanakula keki kama supper, keki kama lunch.
It's a very sad situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because times are hard, and kids most of the times will find themselves doing a cake and it's trunky and go back to class. I've done that before, and I've paid the price because I have most of my teeth filled. But the best thing is with our kids, the ones that we are bringing up now, with the ones that with the teeth that we have and they are not completely destroying, let us avoid sugars, do a balanced diet, and at the end of the day, if you are not able to do a full meal, why don't you do fruits? A pudding won't give you the same energy that kangumu will give you. And they are almost the same price. If you do a banana or you do a cameron, it's almost the same price.
The same price.
Yeah.
Well, wow, thank you. We'll go on a short commercial break. We'll be right back. In the meantime, tunaendelea na masuala ya oral hygiene with Dr. Mercy. Now, Dr. Mercy, tumesema kwamba tukirejea tunaangalia kuhusu bad breath. Maybe unaweza tuambia what causes bad breath, na hii watu wanasema acha nitumie mint ama chewing gum malize hiyo bad breath. Huwa inasaidia kivipi?
Okay. Bad breath, it's a condition. It's also a condition known as halitosis, whereby someone is presenting with a very unpleasant odor from your mouth. It's very uncomfortable. Sometimes I hear my clients tell me that I feel it myself. I don't know if you are able to feel yourself your bad breath, because there is the other proverb that, is it a proverb or a saying, that it's only your best friend that can tell you that your mouth stinks.
It's a saying.
Now we really need to value friendship when it comes to bad breath, because the person closer to you is the only person who can tell you that your mouth is as a foul smell. Yeah, we have it can either be temporary or short-lived, or you can have it as a chronic problem. And these are some of the causes that cause bad breath. One of them is what we were talking about, poor oral hygiene. If you're not able to brush your teeth, there are some people who do not brush their teeth kapsa. Especially hapa mashambani.
Ukweli.
Watu wana brush meno wakiwa wanaenda town ama kanisa.
Ni ukweli.
Sasa kama mtu anavaa apron aende kwa shamba ana brush meno kwa nini? Okay, I don't encourage that. I say it as a fun statement, but the best thing is to brush your teeth, whether you're going to your farm or you're going to the dairy to take the milk, or you're going to town. Have a stipulated time when to brush your teeth. It doesn't matter whether you're going out or whether you're staying at home. Have a stipulated time. You know, after breakfast, the first thing I do is not to pick my tools and go to the shamba. No, it's pick my toothbrush first, brush, then I go out. Either you're going to town, you don't have to brush only because you're going to town or to church or to fellowship. Brush your teeth always, mornings after breakfast, and evenings after supper. There is also the issue of gum diseases. Some people have gum problems that cause very foul smells. Let's say that your teeth are bleeding. They are bleeding whether you've touched or not. They are bleeding. That is a gum disease. And with gum diseases, bacteria will come to attach on that blood that is coming out there to feed on it. As they are feeding on it, they are forming pus. And also the bacteria themselves, they produce an odor. So there is the element of the pus that is forming because of the gum infections, and now the bacteria themselves. You get a very foul smell. There are people with dental problems other than gum diseases. Let's say you have a cavity in your tooth, somewhere that your brush is not touching, but that is a reservoir ya kuweka bad food particles. Once the food particles remain there, they will and they will
zitaanza tu kuanza kujiform hapo.
kukua sawa,
Eh.
then they will stink.
Aha.
That is exactly. If you have cavities in your mouth,
Naam.
no matter how much you brush, as long as you're not touching where the cavity is, you are sure that the food will remain there. There are people that have dental appliances in the mouth. Like maybe you have a denture, and now you're not able even to clean it. Some will keep the denture there. They know it is removable. It is supposed to be removed and cleaned, and they don't want to remove and clean. Vile aliwekwa ni hivyo na ni hivyo. So you can be sure that mouth is very dirty and very stinky. There are people with the braces, especially the small children, at the age of 10, 8, they are not even able to brush them properly. So when you have a kid that has braces, be taking them regularly to a dental practitioner so that they can be cleaned by a professional. Because these kids are very small, they are not able to do it themselves. Okay, we also have systemic problem. Even before we go to systemic problem, we have foods. Chakula zenyewe zenye zinaweza cause bad breath. Let's say you have taken garlic. You have and the way people are doing garlic now for toothache.
Yes.
I know people are nursing toothache with garlic nowadays. So because you have a tooth that is disturbing and you don't want to remove it, you don't want to feed it, you keep putting garlic there. You're doing spicy food. You're doing fish. Such food can cause a temporary bad smell from your mouth. There are others that are not able to brush their tongues. Even at your tongue is also a source of a bad breath. Because especially at the back of your tongue, if you're not able to scrub there, some people tell me when they are brushing and they touch there, they feel like gagging. Yani una feel kutapika. So they are not able to brush. So you brush your teeth properly, floss your teeth, but still have a bad smell. Why? You are not able to scrub your tongue properly. So the tongue is the source of bad breath. We have systemic problems. There are people with tonsillitis. Tonsillitis are folds that are below the tongue, behind the tongue there, down there we have folds. There are some people that have very deep folds, that tonsillitis, that can keep things we call tonsillar stones. Tonsillar stones are very, very stinky. They are just a collection of food particles and the salts that you are taking, and they harden. So they are able to keep food, small remnant of food there. They are able to pick bacteria there, so they smell so bad. You also have people who have nasal issues, problems with the blockage of noses that can also cause a bad breath in your mouth. And so you generally, we recommend that people go to the hospital at least twice a year.
Twice a year.
For you to be checked. You don't have to go looking for lemon days from laymen. People that will give you all kind of concoctions to finish the problem of your bad breath. Yet a professional can solve that problem within a short period and with scientifically proved materials so that you're able to live a comfortable life. The only thing we encourage, at least visit a dentist twice a year.
Twice a year.
In 6 months, let them check you. Let them clean your teeth to remove the tartar. The tartar, the things that we say they calcify in your gums, causing you to have bleeding gums. Once that tartar is removed and you're treated of that dangerous bacteria that comes with the tartar, you are able to live a comfortable life without any bad breath. They also teach you how to brush, because scientifically it has been proven only 10% of people in this world know how to brush teeth. Most of them are medical practitioners and their families. So the rest of us, tuna brushing tunju tuko na brush. Hatujui how to do. Some of us are even doing it the wrong way and even worsening the problem. So it is always good to visit a dentist, be advised on how to properly do your brushing, and also how to floss your teeth, and what you can do to clean up your mouth so that you are not having that bad breath. If it's either a tooth that has a cavity, you'll be advised on filling or extraction. It's either a denture that has been in place for some time and it is not well cleaned. You will advise on how to remove, clean it and return it. So there are so many things that the dentist can pick immediately they visit you that can help you reduce these problems. Yeah.
So hii mambo ya ukiwa na toothache, sijui natafuta ma baking soda and also whitening of the teeth because umesema kuhusu remedies hizi za nyumbani. Tunaambiwa na some influencers mpaka kwa mtandao that you can use charcoal, you can use lemon to whiten your teeth. Unaweza tumia pia baking soda kama unaumwa na meno. Is it advisable or
advisable because some of those items are very corrosive to your teeth and also your gums. So you'll find that you've gone for charcoal, you umesugua na labda hii meno inahitaji tu masking, hata hitaji charcoal. Umesugua na unajua beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Utajiangalia kwa kioo uone zimeshine
ukweli.
Tuambie ukweli hapa tusiwaambie. Acha tutujama. Acha tukajangie hiyo, lakini let's say some of these items that you're going to use that they are very corrosive. They will leave you with a very sensitive teeth. You cannot even breathe in air because the teeth have become very sensitive. And you can worsen the problem thinking that you're doing the right thing. Yeah, because once you have corroded somewhere that was supposed to be covered in that brown material, because it is, most of it is not even actually dirt. It is your tooth that has lost minerals. While it was picking minerals, you had already picked on food pigments, and they have made the tooth brown. Now it has ended as a brown teeth. You scrap on it, you expose the inner part of the tooth that was protected by that brown area. That means you have exposed the parts that the bacteria are able to feed on very fast. You get a cavity there. So some of these practices are not good. Go to a dentist. Be advised on how you can remove that stain in a good way, other than you corroding your tooth and even making the problem more worse.
Oh wow. Now before you go on a short commercial break, naye anasema hapa, when can my mouth be filled? I think ile ya kulifiliwa. You've talked about filling my mouth. But can I be filled the mouth first of all when I have a dental cavity?
Yeah. When you visit a dentist, they will examine you. They will ask you questions to ascertain the extent of the cavity. If it's a cavity that just requires a filling, they will clean and fill the tooth. If it's a cavity that requires an X-ray or a dental, an invasive form of a filling, you will be advised. But the best thing is, visit a dentist. Me, I tell them at least even once a year. Because I've seen here in Kenya, 2 times is very difficult. Very, very difficult. Because we are paying from our pocket. And I understand our people. But who are they? They will only visit a dentist when they are in pain.
Yes,
total pain. Kama jarara wa siku 3, si moja. 3. Moja anaamkanga inatulia, anasema wacha niende job, na tena sikuwa na pesa, nitatafuta nafasi nikaangaliwe. Ile siku ya jarara siku 3 mfululizo, ndio utampata hapo amejishika hivi, aeleweki ni mwili mgonjwa ama ni jino. That's our people. And we don't bring them. It's the kind of situation we find ourselves as a nation, whereby we pay from our pockets for every treatment. But then, when Mzungu said, the white man said that a stitch in time saves 9, it's the same thing. When you're going to visit a dentist, before the pain, you will save so much on time and also on resources. Because a tooth that would have been filled last year, if it has started paining today, it will not even be filled. It can only be done a root canal. A root canal is more invasive and also more expensive. It is also time consuming because it is not done in one sitting. So when we advise people to come visit a dentist at least once a year, it is because we know what it means for you to come late. Yeah.
Wow. So coming to this question, when can somebody be filled the mouth? The teeth, I mean.
You can be filled when your tooth has a small cavity that maybe you feel sensitive to cold water. When you take something cold or you take something sugary, you feel something. When you eat a cold nanasi, you feel something. That one can be filled. There is also the other one they call filling, although it is not filling, replacement. You can also have your teeth replaced. If you have a gap somewhere you removed a tooth kitambo, you can replace it so that you can save on the tooth that are on the opposite direction also, because they need somewhere to bite on so that you can have a functional mouth. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Acha tuende tu a short commercial break, 2 minutes with Bishop Dr. Patty Kariuki. Alafu turejea kwa sababu naona umekuja na the practical things za kutuonyesha vile tutabrush. For those who are listening wataona online. Utufunze vile tunastahili kubrush meno and of course tukimalizia. Welcome back Dr. Mercy. Now tumesema tukirejea utakuwa unatuonyesha vile tunastahili kubrush meno. Kwa sababu inakaa sisi 90% hatujui kubrush meno.
Yes, that is the truth. That is science, not me. Research shows that only 10% of the population knows how to brush teeth properly. And I'm here to increase that numbers. And with me here is a model of a mouth. It has very bright teeth, you can see.
Yes, I can see as white as snow. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm also having a toothbrush here.
Yeah.
And so the first thing you need to do when you're brushing your teeth, you need to know where are you brushing. Where are the surfaces of the teeth that you're going to brush? How many are they? Surfaces that you're going to brush. So we'll count with you. We have the outer surface that is next to the cheeks. We have the one that is inside the tongue or in the palate. We have one that is the cutting one. Those are 3. We have one on this side of the other tooth and the other side of the other tooth. So those are 5. So if you're able to brush those areas, you will have cleaned your tooth properly. Where else do you find that? You'll also find that on the area that is bordering the tooth and the gum. Because that is where you have a retention. Actually, on the surface of the tooth here, there is no retention. Because food particles cannot stick on your tooth here. They have to get somewhere they are sitting on. So when you're brushing your teeth, you put your brush like in 45 degrees angle. Let's say you're starting from the last molar here. And then you press it near the gum and the tooth. So when you're brushing, what you should have in mind is that you should not push the dirt inside the gums. Because once you push them there, they will end there and they will cause the gum diseases we talked about. So you place your brush, and now when you're making the movement, make the movements that are coming away from the gum. So that is a circular motion, but away, putting it up, away from the gum. You're putting away from the gums. You see?
Yes, I can
You're
see.
putting away from the gums. Away from the gums. When you get to the canine. The canine is always longer than the other tooth. So if you press the gum in the same level, you may end up eating the gum that is covering the canine. So you can even press your brush directly there, the tip of your brush, as you brush the canine. Then you go for the other teeth. If you cannot do 3 at the same time, you can even do one at a time. Take time, like 5 to 10 minutes when you're brushing. Come to the lower side. The same. You press the brush out, closer to the gum, but when you're doing the motion, it should be up. Now, because you're doing the lower side, up. You don't push the food particles below the gum. Then you go to the inside. You also clean the inside the same way. You don't only clean the outside, you also clean the inside. The upper side is the same. You do the inside. I get to see clients with very clean teeth, like Makia's teeth. And then when they open the inside, it's very black, inside your chimney. Why? Because people have already been cleaning where we can see. They are not cleaning where we are not seeing. But where you're not seeing is even where the dirt is so much. So you clean there, and that is where we also have a very good retention, especially on the lower teeth here. And then we have 2 salivary glands opening at that area. When they open, the saliva comes with its exudates. Let's say we have minerals that are under the teeth. They come from the saliva, the hydroxyapatites. We also have salts that come from that saliva. We have so many particles from the saliva. They will calcify below your teeth here. That's why you find people with another layer of something on top of their teeth inside. That is, we call it that tartar. When you are doing this, you are now removing the plaque before it becomes tartar. And that is why you're supposed to do at least twice a day. Because when you give the plaque time, it will land them. Because the saliva carries hydroxyapatite. And hydroxyapatite is a mineral that calcifies your teeth so that they can be that strong. So it will calcify this food that is found in your teeth. It will become as hard as a tooth. Imagine when that becomes as hard as your tooth. You cannot remove it with a toothbrush again. You need a professional cleaning. So once you have done with the inside, both upper and lower, now you do the cutting ends or the eating surface. The one that is chewing food or the one that is cutting here. You make sure it is cleaned. Yes, you have done all that. Do not leave your tongue out. We said at the back of the tongue there, you really need to scrap it because it is also carrying some particles that can make you have bad breath. Now you have done with the brushing. Take a floss and then floss. I'm sorry, I forgot my floss.
Don't worry.
I should have carried. You floss in between the teeth now because we said there is a surface on this side of this tooth in between the other side of the tooth. Now you brush those, you floss those knee and remove the particles there. Now you can rinse your water.
Kweli hatupata brush meno.
Imagine.
It is a lot. Hiyo ni kazi, but that sit na brush tu tumeenda. Oh, wow, I've really learned something. Hey, jamani, tuko tuna brush meno. For those people who are listening, I'll post that video online. You have to know how to brush your teeth so that we have healthy teeth as well, sindio? Now, how can I identify a fake product like a toothpaste?
Like a toothpaste. Okay, most of the toothpaste that we have in the market, there is a recommendation from WHO that we add some small amount of fluoride in our toothpaste. So most of them that do not have that fluoride, they are not fake. Then you find a very big toothpaste going for 50 bob. It is not up to standard. It's not really fake, but it is not up to standard.
So a good toothpaste.
A good toothpaste it will come with a cost. Even the small one will not cost the same value as that big one. So you will find the smaller one is now even more expensive than the big one you're receiving in the streets. That is not even up to standard. So a good toothpaste will have fluoride, a small amount that can strengthen your teeth and make them more resistant to cavities.
Wow, thank you so much. And do you think like government, county government and national government have put in place policies or ways to educate people more about oral hygiene, maybe even in school?
Okay, we have what we call health promoters. And for us within here, we have had one lady who has been very vocal about oral hygiene, and she has been calling us even to go to radio stations like today. When she gets a radio station that is able to partner with the health promotion in the county government, they are able to factor in programs like oral health so that our masses can be taught. We also have churches that are organizing for dental camps and oral hygiene, oral health talks. We also have schools nowadays that are even calling us to go teach their kids. And also the county government, together with the health promotion department, they organize such talks. And we always make ourselves available when we are called to give our inputs in such forums.
Wow, thank you so much. Wow, it was a really great time having you here. Naona muda umetupa kisogo. We shall have you another day. Tutakuja utueleze nini tujue kabisa, si ndio? Maybe you have some party short words you would like to say, unaweza tuambia, and you tell us how we can find you, where you work. Pia, if you have social media pages, you can also tell us. Maybe people want to reach to you, can also give us your number.
Okay, I started by saying my name is Meru. That is still the name that I used on Facebook. Meru. Okay, what I will tell our people is a stitch in time saves 9. As early as now, carry the whole family to a dentist. Let them have a dental checkup on all of them. Even the smallest that has one tooth in the mouth. By protecting that tooth, you will protect the whole mouth. will not say what Waswahili say, that meno moja mswaki ni wanini. Even with one tooth, even I have a tooth, we will already buy the toothbrush and take this kid to a dentist to be even advised on the proper diet and also proper practices on to the brushing. It is good to visit a dentist at least once in a year. I will give our people at least once in a year so that you can know the condition of your mouth and where you need to put more effort or where you need to do an intervention before the problem worsens. I'm located here in town. My clinic is called Awesome Smile Dental. Located at Think Twice Building. Think Twice Building is where we have Mitumba for wholesale. Think Twice Building, first floor, room number 7. When you come there, ask for Martin Theory, you'll find me. My number is 0723 146 525.
525.
Yeah.
Yes, so thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
I'm really glad. Well, hey, I have learned a lot. I'm sure also my listeners have learned a lot.
I'm happy to be of help.
Wow, looking forward to having you again.
Thank you so much. I can see we have not even done a quota.
We have not done a quota. Hata mimi naona muda kuna vile lakini ni sawa tu.